I'm about to go to art school. What do I do? And I like at that time actually I was also a professional video gamer. I was playing Street Fighter.
Oh shit.
Beta testing Counter-Strike for Valve. This was like 96, 90.
Damn.
Yeah, I was beta testing since like 98 with them. And then this is when Counter-Strike was like, you could do like bunny hopping.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I remember those days.
Yeah, and then I was playing Cal and then, you know, had a bunch of clans and I was trying to make money. I was starting to do that and I made money from that and giving that to my parents. When I found out, then we kicked our dad out of the house. My parents split up. And it was just a crazy time. People go through this, you know, this is a life thing, right?
Yeah.
Life experience. And then I was like, shit, I got to really hustle, you know? So I was doing the tournaments. And then I was like, dang,
It's crazy how you're doing video games. Like, instead of going to get a regular job, you're like, I got to play video games harder. During a time when video games did not pay well.
No, at that time, there's no esports. Like, I think
there's no esports.
I was probably a professional esports player at that time.
Yeah.
I mean, that was probably like 100 people in that community.
I know. And this was 2000, like,
This was like
4, 3, something like that.
This is like 2000, 2002, 2000.
Yeah.
I was playing games since 98, but 96. Well, ever since I was like 5 years old, Nintendo, but like Street Fighter competitively since 98, 99. Yeah. And then I had a bunch of college books and I was like, oh, and that time they had half.com, which I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
Half.com, which was owned by eBay.
Yeah.
They had eBay and Amazon was like losing money at that time.
Is half.com still around?
No.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Yeah, you're like, damn. I sell some books on there.
I was like, okay, good. I still got some old ass books, bro.
Yeah, but dang, you know, I think if I had a lot of opportunities and revenue channels, I guess you can call them. But I went on half.com and I had like, you know, you have your like general studies, whatever they call them.
Yeah.
At Santa Monica and there was even a local bookstore there in Santa near SMC that like I would buy books online and I'd do like two-way trading in a way, right?
Yeah.
And I'd buy them and I'd sell them for like obviously as a profit. If I buy it for 50, I sell for 65 or whatever. And I started doing that and online I was selling it. And then next thing I know, I was like, shit, what else do I find around the house to sell?
That's how I got into eBay too.
Yeah. We've talked about that. Like, and I was like, shit, like at that time I had a girlfriend and her sister, for some reason had thousands of prenatal vitamins that weren't expired. And then she had like porcelain dolls and things like that. And I sold all those things. I just listed them on eBay. Wherever I could, I put them on. So my used books, like whatever's around the house, put those online. And then, you know, I was like, shit, you know, I'm starting to like make some money and give my parents, you know, some money from that. And then at that same time, I was like, I still need to make some money. And then I ended up applying for my first and only corporate job, which I worked at Blockbuster Video.
Tight.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Well deserved.
I know, right?
Damn, dude.
Yeah. And then it was the Blockbuster on Lake Avenue in Pasadena. And I remember that, like, so I had my polo that I wore every day. And then I worked there only for 6 months. And I mean, it was a good experience. And basically I worked there, became the #1 salesperson of the Pirates Caribbean DVD.
Okay.
Joe's heard this story many times, but David, I don't think you know the whole story.
I did not.
Yeah, so
It's a good story too.
Thank you. And so I became the #1 salesperson just as a cashier. You know, I don't know if you ever worked at any like corporate retail.
Yeah, Men's Warehouse, Macy's.
Do they make you go through like a 10-step checkout process if you work the POS? Or like
we had a I don't know 10-step, but we had a whole checkout thing before we.
Yeah, like, oh, hey, how you doing? Did you find everything okay?
Yep.
Like, yeah, so I had to do that, right? But I ended up always selling Pirates Caribbean DVD, and they said I was the #1 seller in SoCal.
What the fuck?
For selling so many.
Yeah.
You know, because almost every customer, I'd get them to subscribe or whatever you call that and buy it or sell like a subscription card, whatever they were selling at that time. And they would never get commission. And then at the same time, when I first started, I had to clean the bathroom for like 2 weeks. And I was like, I signed up for a cashier job.
Yeah.
Not a janitorial, you know?
Yeah.
And I told myself, I was like, okay, #1, if I had a salesperson or if I had people that worked hard, I would compensate them properly.
Yeah.
You should in a proper company, and then I wouldn't make someone who signed up for a cashier to go clean the bathroom. That's why they have janitors and custodians, right?
Yeah.
So that happened, and I kind of got like pissed at that, you know. And it's hard for me, and then people who know me, it's hard for me to get me angry about something.
I've never seen you angry for all the years that I've.
So
no matter if you, even when you get scammed and fucked over, you don't get angry.
Ecstasy is in his blood. That's why.
Flare forever, everybody.
Even when he's telling me
Pirates Caribbean DVD, Flare.
he's telling me stories of how he got fucked over and he's smiling about it, and I'm like, what's going on, man? Like,
So I was like, all right, screw this. And then at the time I was selling on eBay. So while I'm hustling, I was there. They would put me to work all the time, which was cool. I got hours, whatever, And I wanted to work towards manager. And they started me putting on the floor. They put me on the floor to like rearrange stuff. And then at that time they were selling previously viewed DVDs, and those are like, let's say, Lord of the Ring, Twin Towers. Those they go for $25 at that time. That's what DVDs went for, and then they'd sell them for like $6.
Yeah.
So I started to think I had a friend that made DVD cases, and I was selling at half. And I was like, oh shit, maybe I can sell DVDs. And then I'd buy all the stock they had. At that time they had there was a few movies. Mainly it was the Lord of the Rings that I bought, and I bought like hundreds of them.
Yeah.
I'd package them. I bought a heat sealer on eBay. I'd repackage them brand new, and boom, put them on half.com on Amazon for brand new. And I sold all of them at $25-$30.
wow.
That's amazing.
And there was a big drought of Lord of the Rings at that time, which I could like. It was like that. It's similar to like if you're slanging E, and when it was $5 now it's out. You sell for $40 a bill, And I took that philosophy. So I give credit to at the times where people consider like, oh, raving drugs are bad, but those are all life experience that I took with me, right?
Me too.
Right. So from the first stage of raving and all that. And then going into this business world, and then applying that to my e-commerce, and then the next thing I knew, like 6 months into my job, the regional manager, they're like, oh hey, they want to meet you tomorrow. I was like, all right, cool, probably get a promotion, probably become manager. Yeah. And then we went to the room, and she was like, what are all these transactions? I was like, oh, I just bought it for families and friends. And the next day I called the manager. I was like, hey, I'm out, and I didn't show up. And then, I was like, all right, shit, what do I do? I applied another job, applied to like Petco.
So why did you decide to quit? Did you feel weird about
it was awkward after that, because then people were like, dude, this guy's doing something crazy shady. Yeah, but I mean, I bought them straight out, though. I wasn't like taking $6 DVDs. I was just like buying them, but I was, I could do whatever I want with them, right?
That's true.
But it was the same title over and over, so. Anyways, but it was cool. And I learned, I was like, shit, what else can I sell? What else should I do? And I tried to apply to other like jobs, Petco, and like everywhere. I think like Osh, Home Depot. I didn't get a job. Like whatever, screw this. So I started to like expand my online thing, and I was still playing Street Fighter or whatever. So I went online, bought a PS2 controller, and this was like that controller is like I think what launched my business career. And it was a $5 transparent blue PS2 controller. I remember. It looks like a Sony controller. They call them in China 1-to-1 E by E, but 100%. Like the Sony No Sony logo. I was like, cool, it's like official. And I played, it's like, this is junk, So went back online, sold it for $20. I was like, let's put it at 20. Sold for 20.
You sold it for more?
Yeah, it was $5, sold it for $20.
Whoa.
And then I remember the seller, his name was Cat from Mars. And then he was from Florida. There was a bunch of Asian guys, like I think from Hong Kong or China, and they lived in Florida, and they were doing trading, whatever. And I don't know anything about wholesale or anything like that. Yeah. So I went to him, and he had a bunch of packages, like 3 controllers and a multi-tap. You guys remember what multi-taps are? Where you plug 4 controllers. Yeah, that $20. So 3 controllers and that for $20, free shipping. I was like, damn, what a deal. So I bought that, and then it's like, damn, this is junk. Went back online, $20 each. I separated it, so basically $20 spend. And then I made 80, and I sold for $80. So it's like $60 profit. I was like, shit. Went back, whatever money I had from Blockbuster was like $500-$600, 700 something exactly, and then boom.
You would just resell the products that they were selling on eBay.
Yeah, and then I started doing a lot of research on eBay. Wow. So I realized every seller had like 4, 5, 6, 7 accounts, and I went to all the accounts, bought all his inventory, resold everything, and started competing with them. I was like, all right, cool. I'll open.
So you're competing by buying their own products and reselling it for a higher price?
Yeah.
How the fuck did you do that?
I don't know what I was doing, but it worked, So,
wow.
Yeah, which is crazy. So
because people could have got the same controller for a cheaper price.
Anybody could do that. But at that time, eBay, and I think Joe, you've had experience at eBay, like at that time, 2004 to 2007, 8. It was I think that was eBay's prime time where
it was.
You get anything for lower cost, you can actually still make money from Alibaba or wherever.
Yep.
Now it's like you make pennies, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
at that
But,
time,
oh man, I was making like 60-80% margins.
exactly.
Yeah.
Back then, I was like, damn, dude, what else can I sell? What else can I sell?
Yeah.
Right. That's how like people like got into the crazy manufacturing business, not because of those eBay days. But
Like you know, Evike, the
Yeah.
airsoft. Yeah, they remember. I had a airsoft company back then too, and they remember my shit. And then yeah, I got taken.
are they
out.
still around?
No, they're around.
Do they
They're
do
huge
they do
now.
pocket bikes?
No, Evike, not e-bike.
Oh.
Yeah. They're an airsoft company, but yeah, they're old school eBay too.
Yeah.
A lot of these companies,
All the old school eBayers
Yeah.
now have like crazy warehouses.
Yeah.
And it came from eBay. So, anyways, and so I started I opened up some other accounts, and then just like expanded my inventory. So whatever those guys carried, PS2 extension cables, dance pads, and then dance pads is where I really like expanded my company.
Dance Dance Revolution,
DDR, all the
I
DDR
remember that
fans.
shit, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. So we expanded everything, and then I was like, shit, I need to like lower my prices to get more increase my profit margins. So I was Googling different wholesalers in San Gabriel Valley or SoCal, LA. There's a bunch in Walnut, City Industry. Contacted them, set up accounts, and then started buying a bunch from them. And I stopped buying from the online sellers because I realized that I'm getting ripped off.
Yeah.
Even though I'm making so much money, then I realized I'm getting and then I'm buying stuff at 50%, even less now from local sellers, and I'm like cleaning them out.
Yeah.
I have like 3-4 different accounts, different names,
Yeah.
because it was a good strategy. Because once people were like, let's say you go to Amazon, you don't buy from Amazon, but you go to Target, right? It was that same concept. I was like, I had my Amazon, my Target, etc., but it's still going to the same bank account, same company
with different on
just
the different platforms.
Yeah.
See, that's genius. I never did that.
Yeah,
They still do that on Amazon with electronics. Like,
they do. Yeah.
and they fucking get my ass every time.
Yeah, it's all different brands, but the same company.
It's so funny because there was a specific charger that I liked, like a portable charger that had a wall plug-in, but it had 6 different cords attached to it, and it just suddenly just disappeared, went out of stock. And then I saw I popped up again, but a different company name. I was like, oh, that's the same. Oh, whatever, I'll still buy it. You know what I mean? And I just bought it twice over, dude. It's smart.
Yeah. But that's how they get you, man.
Yeah.
So had a bunch of accounts, and then after the wholesalers, I was like, shit, I gotta continue to cut the cost. So I went to Alibaba one day, and then I just like Googled all the stuff that was selling like crazy, and our number one item actually ended up being DDR dance pads, like foam ones, thin ones, metal dance pads that were sold at Fry's Electronics. And so what happened was I found this guy. I did a lot of digging. He's still in the gaming business, but just some random guy that was on Alibaba, and he was like, oh, I make them, and here's the price. Like, damn, is that really the price? It was like $30, and I'd sell dance pads for $200, the metal ones.
Wow.
Yeah. And because we would buy pallets of them, and then what happened was we ended up just sending this guy all this money. And then from the first year, I went from that 4, 5, 6, 700 to like $2-3 million, just shipping thousands of packages a day by myself, me and my brother.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I'd wake up in the
man.
morning and have 30,000 in my PayPal account every day.
How old were you at this time?
I was 21.
Oh
22.
my god, dude!
Yeah,
that
so
is fucking.
I didn't know what to do,
man.
Yeah, and my brother, he went to business school, whatever, and I only have one brother, and I was like, all right, cool, you come and help me, like just part time, and then he ended up quitting his like corporate jobs or whatever.
Yeah, I would have too.
Yeah, and then he was just helping me because I didn't know what to do with the finance stuff. I was just getting a bunch of money, didn't know what to do, right? And then I was like, shit, it just felt casual to me. I was like, oh shit, I had 500, now I have 10, now I have 20, I have 50,000, 100,000, and I was like, damn, what do I do?
It's crazy because what you inspired me to do eBay because we would hear a rumor about you and be like, Joey made it, right? And we're like, what? Yeah, I heard he made like $100,000 last year. And we're like, what? And then I hear, no, Joey made $1 million last year. And they're like, what? They're like, no, Joey made only 700,000. And then like people were saying like our mutual friends, and then like I hear again, Joey's a millionaire. Joey made 2 million. Joey this. I'm like, who's? I don't know. I haven't seen Joey in a while, but I'm like thinking, well, I know Joey and we did drugs.
He ain't doing shit.
I'm like,
Yeah, he's probably rolling in the room right now with the PS2 controller lit up.
That's fucking funny.
but it was also something like I was always interested in eBay, man.
Yeah.
But to just know that someone I knew fucking made it on eBay gave me the courage to just fucking try it, dude.
Yeah, and you did it.
Not at your level, bro, but that was my first step into business too.
Yeah.
Similar story, but yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Well, how did you get into the gaming thing then? Like what you have now? Because you said
it'll transition into like manufacturing. So basically, we started selling a lot, and then buying. We sent money to this guy on Alibaba, and then he ended up sending us metal dance pads. And I took a step back from e-commerce. I trained all my friends to sell on eBay, and then they all became somewhat successful on eBay too, and ran their own stores. Then we started wholesaling to retailers like Fry's Electronics.
What the
etc.
fuck?
And then so we supplied like all those retailers with these metal dance pads and stuff. If you ever went to Fry's and they had an arcade machine, yeah, we sold all those.
What the fuck?
Yeah. That started from eBay, and then eBay at that time also they're like, damn, because I all my accounts were power seller accounts, right? And if you guys know what power seller is, like, you maintain a good feedback, etc. And then they actually invited me to like eBay like office to like come and coach and consult, but I like denied doing that because I just wanted to continue my business. And then my brother and I, after the first year, we had our first warehouse in Monrovia that was like 2,000 square feet. We'd always like max it out. We got our first container after sending that guy that money blind. That was like kind of like a Hail Mary, I send him all the money. If I get the stuff, boom, we're going to make it, right? Like, we're going to double our profits or triple or quadruple. And then he kept sending stuff. We set up a relationship. And then 2006 at E3 Expo, if you guys know what that is, we had our first trade show. At that time, I imported these game projectors that play PS2 or GameCube, Xbox on the wall. It projects your game console 80 inches on the wall.
Wow.
Yeah, and I told people I was the inventor of that, right?
Fucking job.
Yeah, but at that time I imported everything. At that time iPod was like becoming super hot. Like, and then like,
but you were the only importer of it, so then someone else wasn't gonna be like, nah, man.
Yeah, well, somebody came. So this is when I like really blew up like in my entrepreneur career. Is the guy that actually invented it, which he helped Nintendo bring Super Mario to the global market. I won't say his name, but he's famous. He's a Taiwanese guy. He passed by my booth with our other partner, who's a government official now in China that we partner with. He walked by my booth. He's like, "Hey, where'd you get that?" I was like, "Oh, the projector." He's like, "Yeah, it's my product. I invented it. You want to buy?" He's like, "Here's my card. This is my product. I made this product."
Whoa.
Yeah, and then he's like, "If you come to China, give me a call."
I love how he wasn't offended. That's like Chinese.
He's a crazy, like humble, like Tai Chi Taiwanese dude. Very, very famous guy that in video game industry, everybody knows this guy.
That's amazing. He's like, hey, just to let you know, guy, I stole it too. So, I can't get mad at you.
I stole it from other guy.
Yeah, I stole it from
long story short, I was actually buying from his our China partner, one of his best friends that was selling it. So that's how they're all linked up. Those guys didn't sell. They're like big shots, So anyways, I never went to China, ended up booking a flight. Me and my brother, we took one of my brother's friends, an Indian guy, and then another Shanghainese guy with us. And then we claimed they were our like staff, We were just like fronting, faking to make that kind of thing,
Oh my God. That's so funny.
We ended up going to China, visiting all of our vendors.
This is Gurjeep. He is our manager, warehouse manager.
I know. So he speaks perfect English too. He's like, Joey, I don't have an Indian accent, dude.
Yeah, they actually thought one night when we had, so we went to China.
Wait, did they all speak English? Like, how did this go down?
Yeah, everybody speaks English except for our Chinese partner. Those guys don't speak any English at all.
Damn.
Not even one word except for like hello.
So did you have to have a translator there, or did you have to learn Chinese?
So the Taiwanese guy, which was my mentor, he